drills with Mookie. Just to show you some of the things he's learned. We're going to be doing, well, first I'll show you the tone recall in from the play yard, no words. You'll see me sending him to place. He'll be laying down, he'll be staying until released. You'll be seeing him recall to another place bed, recall to me, hold it down, stay. Just all basic skills his family is going to be using at home and at the store. So right now, I'm going to start tapping the tone, and you'll see him coming. Remember, I'm not saying anything. This is all just tone recall, so without words. He'll run in, and then I'll direct him to where I want him to go. So here we go. Tapping the tone. Here he comes. Place. Good boy. No. Place. Good. All right, I hope you can see the timing there. So direct him to place. He gets on, but then he gets right back off. That's okay. We are expecting our dogs to make mistakes. What's important is my response to his mistake. As soon as he steps off the bed, pressure's on. He gets back on the bed, pressure's off. Good. Okay, if you can do that at home, he's going to be just fine. Because remember, we're not expecting our dogs to be perfect. We just want to make sure we're holding them accountable for everything that they've learned. Who's a good boy? Yes, you are a good boy, right? If they're making the same mistake over and over and over again, reevaluate your timing and your intensity of the collar. And I want you to make sure you keep repeating the same scene over and over again to make sure they're getting it right and they're learning from their mistake. Let's try a recall to place. So to get him from one point of the room to the other, I'm going to use my recall, which is going to be COME. I'm also going to tap the tone. I'm going to praise him as he's on his way, and then his landing pad is going to be the place bed where he should lay down. Mookie, no, place. I'm so glad that you guys are seeing these mistakes because it's such a common thing. I don't want him to respond to hearing his name like it's a recall. Does that make sense? I don't want him being on autopilot. I don't want to be saying his name and just having him fly over to me. I want him to hear his name and look at me. So when I say his name and he impulsively flies over to me, I will say no. I'll click the e-collar and I'll point him back to where he just was, and then I repeat the whole thing again. Saying his name and having him run over to me is sort of like being in the same room with another person, saying their name and they just run over to you. You should be able to say that person's name and they say, yes, Julie, what would you like? So now we repeat. Mookie, good. So then I'll mark the correct choice with a good. I can even give him a pet for that. So he realizes, oh, okay, when I hear my name, look at her. Wait for the next instruction. Come, good boy, place. Good. I walked past the bed on purpose there because I want to see if he's going to be making these mistakes again. And if you rewatch the video right there, you can see him thinking about getting off and following me, but he chooses to lay down instead. And I'm going to mark that with a really good boy. I'm going to pet him because he's learning the boundary of the bed. He's learning there's rules. You can't just walk off. You have to wait until you're released or recalled. So I can obviously recall him to place like you just saw, or I can just send him to place. Mookie, place. Good. He goes, he lays down. Good. Marking all of this with a good boy. So he is learning so many things right now. Obviously he is learned the commands, but another big part of why we do drills and why we do this stuff is to teach him actually how to take direction from humans and actually listen to people when they're communicating to him. Let's try a recall just to me. It's a little bit more difficult because there's no landing pad anymore. Now he just has to come directly to me, sit or down at my feet, and stay until released. Mookie, good. Come, good boy. Sit, what a good boy, good. Stay. Mookie, down, no, come, Sit. Good. Stay. Down. Good. You guys are seeing some good stuff. So let's recap what just happened. The past couple reps, I've been sending him to this place bed. So from a distance, when I look at him and say down, in his mind, he's thinking I'm going to send him to the place bed. So instead of listening to the word that I actually said, he's already thinking about going to the place bed, so that's where he goes, on autopilot. Correct that choice, bring awareness to it, put him back where he was, and repeat the whole thing again, and he gets it right. Because now he's paying attention. It's such a cool thing, and that's the part of the reason why I love this training, is because you can just work them through situations like this. I just love it so much. Mookie, break. Good boy, bud. Hi, you good boy. You good boy. Yeah. Place. Good. We're gonna up the ante. I'm gonna bring some dogs out. The place proofing session where we mainly just focused on staying on the bed with other dogs. Now I'm going to try to work him through commands with other dogs playing in the room. Toys everywhere. Okay? So he's, again, he's learning to think through pressure. Mookie, come. Good. Place. Good. Good boy. So you notice now, staying on the bed with all this stuff is easy for him, whereas the other day it was really hard. He kept making mistakes. But now that we've worked through that, it's time to move on to the next step. Good. Oh my gosh, babe! Good. That was a big thing that got him to break. Mookie, place. Good. I beeped there because there is no doubt in my mind that you saw a perfect rep when I sent him to place 5 minutes ago, but now that there's dogs running around, his brain is distracted, his brain is split, so he's like, I can't think, and that's exactly what I'm teaching him to do right now, because life is not going to be a sterile training room. Life is going to be full of distractions, so we have to teach him to think through pressure. Mookie, place, place, place. Good. Just like that. Isn't that crazy? He knows he's done it 100,000 times in the past 2 weeks, but all of a sudden he can't think just because I've added a squeaker. These are the things that we have to work through in order for him to pass through this training program. Okay, this is a tap out of 5, just to make sure I can get that double down even when I'm sneaking something. Let's try it again. Mookie, Mookie, place, place, Mookie, place, good. Really good example of how I kept clicking my tone, stim, until he's like, okay, I have to, push the pressure aside and listen. This could be stimulating a squirrel on the hiking trail, right? You're trying to recall him, but he's like, no, squirrel! And he feels this pressure, and he's like, okay, I have to listen to my human, okay? Mookie, come. Good boy. Good. Think through barking dogs. I love it. Now, let's see if I can get a rep where I can get him to do this on the first try, even with me squeaking this. Mookie, place. Yes, good boy. He's getting it. And these two are just such perfect distractions. So great. Mookie, come. Good boy. Sit. Good. Stay. Down. Good. Now let's practice his down stay. So hard for him. But this is all about impulse control, prioritizing the handler, prioritizing his obedience, making sure he can respect what I'm asking him. Oh my goodness, hi. Hi. So a couple clips to help him relax even more. Hi. Good. Mookie. Break. Good boy. Now he can play. Now he can play. I'm going to let him play for a minute or two, and then I'm going to try to call him out of play and put him back on place. Hi, Movers. Mookie, place. Good boy. Down. Good job. What a fantastic session for him.